What's up? Hajime no Ippo, The Fighting, episode 4, Shadow Boxing. So, at the end of the third episode, Ippo was accepted. You accepted me here today. He was shedding tears. I know that still can make you well up. How surprised and how deeply he felt being accepted into the group. But episode 4 starts out with him running to the gym. He doesn't have a school uniform on. So I'm thinking, and it looks like it's daytime, so I'm thinking it's the weekend. It was April but to start the show, but I don't think that much time has passed for it to be out of school yet. So he's running, I think it's the weekend. He's running in to go train. Of course, he runs into Aoki and Kimura. They introduce themselves at the end of the third episode, I believe. I don't remember if they did, but they definitely introduced themselves to Ippo in this episode. And, they don't seem like super haters. They don't seem really evil. There's a new guy. They're used to being in there. Clearly, Takamura's been treating them like, not the new guys, but they get treated like squid in Rocket Power. I can't believe I blasphemed against Rocket Power. We are riders on a mission, action kids and play position, return to countdown, Rocket Power. I think I got some lyrics wrong, but love the show. Otto's my dude. Shout out to Richie. Dang, I forgot his sister's name, but I remember Squid though. But anyways, it sounds like they treat him like Squid. And they have this thing where, I gotta look this up too, a finger enema. So Aoki's playing a joke on Ippo right before he getting ready to go into the gym. He really commits assault. It is called a finger enema. He did this and put his finger in his booty, or poked him in his booty hole. So I guess that's supposed to be like a thing to get you get you freaking amped up and geeked up. Now I can't pretend like this is the first time I heard about something like this. I remember, and of course it's TV, but I remember watching Curb Your Enthusiasm. Shout out to everybody that knows Better Call Saul when he was Porno Gil in Curb Your Enthusiasm. And in the show, sorry for this rant, but in the show he explains how he's a porn star and how to get him ready to shoot his scene if he's having trouble getting ready. You feel me? That a fluffer, a guy that's supposed to help him get ready if he needs to, you feel me? His helper was warming up, stuck some Tabasco sauce on his finger and stuck it up Porno Gil's booty. And I guess that he was like, yow! So I guess they got that energy up. So I'm guessing it's similar. It's like a splash in the face with some ice cold water, except it's wilder. So they did that whole joke, which of course took me back. I was like, what the heck? But that's one of the things that they don't ignore is the awkwardness and the weirdness that, there's a whole bunch of dudes in one area, you getting sweaty, you showering. And so, of course, there's weird moments, I guess, in that. But yeah, so that was like his introduction. He gets into the gym. He meets Mr. Yagi, the gym's general manager. I didn't know his name in the first or second round episode. Talking to Coach Kamigawa. But Mr. Yagi is Yagi? Yeah, I think Mr. Yagi. He's the general manager of Kamigawa Gym, KBG, Kawagama Boxing Gym. So he walks in there, and of course, Aoki and Kimura's like, no, we're going to teach the new guy this. And Mr. Yagi's like, I think Mr. Kamigawa has a different plan. But they end up taking him away, and then Takamura comes through, and he's like, no, I'm going to teach Ippo. And then lo and behold, the master walks in, Kamigawa. Now, I like this episode for the fact that Kamigawa, we've seen him in episode before. We almost see him in every episode. But this is his real introduction. You know what I'm saying? We get to see a little bit about his personality, the context of how he's feeling when we meet him. But we get to see him, his real magic. He's having Ippo hit the pads, and he's talking to him. And he's feeding him positive messages, and he's understanding where Ippo is a very, he doesn't keep his anger or hold on to his anger. He's not trying to be a savage or seen a different way. He wants to be a warrior, but he's also just himself. And so I love how Kamigawa was seeing that, and he's like, all right, let me see if I can light some fire in Ippo. Let me see if I can get him to really believe in himself. And that's what he's doing. He's stoking the fire of Ippo's self-belief, which it takes practice. That's one of the things I wrote in here too, is as Ippo, well, I'll continue with the episode and tell you about that part. But anyway, so they're punching the bag, he's teaching them, and then Kamigawa teaches him about an uppercut. He lets him know this is a weapon he wants to have, and he gives him the fundamentals. And so Ippo goes through with it. He misses the pad, but he whisked the air. He had some serious power behind that uppercut. And he didn't even hit the pad, but everybody in the gym heard the wisp. And they were like, everybody turned their head like, clack, clack. So it was like, yo, this Ippo dude might really have something, like even more than we thought. Not just courage, he might have some weapons on him. It was like X-Men, he's figuring out his powers. So Kamigawa teaches him the uppercut, tells him to practice. Ippo's just straight practicing, working on it. Comes in the next day. And also when he's in the gym, there's this thing of Miyata is also in the gym. They both train at the same gym, right? So Miyata comes in and he's seeing Ippo hit the pads. And he's seeing and hearing what Coach Kamigawa is saying. He's like, man, I know you didn't hit Miyata in that sparring match. Was it yesterday or a week ago or whatever? But imagine if you hit him. And Miyata's like, Takamura believes in Ippo so much, he's not even doing his road work. I'm talking about this dude is known as the big guy. He's only about getting the championship. People see him, or his coaches and general managers and everybody in the gym calls him the big guy. They see him as the one going for the Japanese national title and then for the world title. And he's not doing his road work. He's putting his work out to the side, ignoring it, because he's so curious about what Ippo does. He believes in Ippo so much. He's so invested in Ippo's journey, which I like. So they go through. He has to come home. Or he's done training. He's all excited about learning uppercuts. He can't even sleep. He can't even sleep. And so he gets up the next day. I think he goes to his high school. He's coming from high school, and the bullies, Zoshi Rushi, private high school. And by the way, they wear some fly outfits. I saw this other show or movie for a quick second on Retro Crush, Detective Conan. And I'm noticing, and I guess I should have noticed this on Death Note and all the anime where, the characters are in high school. They always got the fresh uniforms on. I used to have to wear a uniform when I was younger in Christian school. And it was cool. We had the navy khaki pants or shorts, usually like some type of Dickies or something. And then we had the collared shirt, and it was usually blue or navy blue, white. They let us wear red, green. I'm trying to think what other colors. I know let us wear, but uniform. These uniforms is cold. That's the all black. They got with the Nehru collar. Man, I'm telling you. Obviously all cultures can bring together and make some beautifulness, but I'm like, man, the black culture with Japanese, we just need to come together like Voltron. You feel me? Show what we're really capable of. But fly outfits. So anyways, Ippo's leaving school, class is over, and Omazawa and his two bullies, the dude that whooped Ippo's butt, like knocked him out in the first episode, right? I think it was the first episode. But anyways, they come in, they're like, Ippo, we haven't seen you in a while. Basically, it's time to whoop that ass. You ready for me to open up this can? And Ippo not even listening. Ippo gone. They're like, what the heck? Go get him. So they run after him, and Ippo's in shape, boy. And they're like, we can't chase him anymore. So without even necessarily realizing that he's already a different person. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about, does he have to be talented to be a different person? And it's like, no, you're doing it already, bro. You know what I'm saying? These bullies that I'm sure he lost so much sleep over, just traumatized for years. They mentioned it. He's been bullied for 11 years. With these bullies, who knows? They might have some bullies before that might have passed him off to these bullies. He's only 16, so at 5 years old. But he's not even giving him the time of day. I got to go train, y'all. Peace. So he gets back to the gym, and Kamigawa can't be with him that day. He has to go handle some bitten ass. You feel me? So he tells him, yo, work on shadow boxing. And so Ippo's like, dang, I guess I should have expected Coach not to be here every day with me all the time. So he's trying to figure out shadow boxing, not sure what it is. And I kind of like that the coach, because I personally, I would be frustrated if the coach told me to do something and didn't completely explain it. But he gives him just enough explanation, which I don't even think is any, maybe a little bit. But he calls him the kid. He wants the kid to find out for himself. He wants the kid to be thinking and figure it out. He doesn't just want the kid to be, what should I do, Kamigawa? You know, which I love as a spectator, as somebody that would actually be a participant in that. I understand that's an obstacle for me to know that it's okay not to know now. And despite not knowing, it's a journey that I have to keep trying to learn, research, study, habit, put into practice, and then I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna figure it out. And that's what Ippo does. He stays thinking about it. All right, so what am I doing? Shadow boxing. So he's not randomly punching. What is he doing? He's visualizing his opponent. So I have to visualize Miyata. Now, Coach mentions earlier that him and Miyata, I think, are going to have a rematch spar in 3 months' time. So my man Kamigawa in the gym out loud. This is the day before. He was like, I'm going to have you competitive with Miyata in 3 months. In 3 months, I wish Miyata would. But it's dope. It's really, I mean, I can't say if Kamigawa was trying to push one fighter over the other, but I love that he has his young bulls in there getting hungry, looking at each other like, all right, I got to keep going. So Ippo struggles with trying to figure out shadow boxing, and Miyata is sparring like a lot. Or, I mean, maybe there's specific things they're working on, but he's sparring or fighting with this other dude, and Ippo's just every day observing him, you know, not totally picking up everything, but trying to pick up a little bit. And I love how they go through his mess ups, right? So first he's like, all right, I have to envision his whole body. But then after some time that wasn't working. So he's like, all right, I have to break this down even smaller, right? And I love that, because sometimes in stories, I mean, obviously for the sake of time, I'm sure, but, you know, the character, I got it. I understand it now. And this whole time, there is no understand it now. There's slow, methodical, grinding progress. It's refreshing to see that in a character that inspires me. It's like, yeah, his animated life is about just as tough as real life. So he's in there watching Miyata, trying to figure out bits and pieces of shadow boxing, and there's times he wants to give up, but they show a part where he's at home, and his mom was like, Ippo, I found these old magazines. I'm getting ready to throw these magazines and these leaves away. And he's like, oh, Mom, don't throw away my leaves. She's like, what you want with some leaves? By the way, I'm sure she's happy to open up a magazine and find leaves, as opposed to trying to open up a magazine and the pages are stuck together. I'm just saying. But she found the leaves. And so he's like, no, these leaves mean something to me, Mom. And it takes him back to when he wanted to give up, but he just decided not to and made it happen. So he's like, you know what? I'm going to take those cookies in my cookie jar. Shout out to David Goggins. And I'm going to keep moving forward. Now, cookies in the cookie jar means you've done something tough before. Put that in the cookie jar. You've done something you unexpectedly difficult. You wasn't sure if you had it in you capable of doing it. You did it. Put that in the cookie jar. So anytime you come up against another obstacle, hill, mountain, you look in the cookie jar and say, I know how I feel now, and I know how insurmountable this obstacle seems. But I'm going to look in this cookie jar. And, oh, yeah, I forgot. Okay, I ran a marathon before. Oh, snap. I did run half a marathon before work. Oh, what about this? What about that? What about that? So that's what he does. He's like, no, I'm not going to give up. So he goes back. He's working on it like day and night. And there's a part where at the end of the episode, Kamigawa, I guess he's getting ready to shut down, right? Looks like it's nighttime when they show outside the gym. So Ippo, day and night, he's in the gym by himself. Kamigawa's watching him. And Ippo doesn't know. Ippo's just working. Ippo starts to figure some stuff out. He's like, oh, snap now. He's still not all the way there. And Kamigawa's excited that he's starting to figure it out, that Ippo's starting to get it. And then Kamigawa's like, but Ippo, you're going to have to make sure all this defense is cool. You're going to have some real weapons to take out Miyata. And that's the end of the episode. He's on his journey to training his butt off so he can be prepared to take on Miyata in 3 months. Some progress, you know. His stamina is already pretty up there. His first official time in the gym training with Kamigawa, he's hitting the pads for the first round, right? Going hard. And then he's like, all right, let's take a break, kid. That 1 round's over. And so he's letting the kid know. He's like, Ippo, this is the standard time for a match. This is how long you'll need to be able to exert yourself. Let's take a little break. And he goes back at it. And meanwhile, Aoki and Kimura on the side, and they're like, yo, he has a lot of stamina for a newbie, but you know, he's gonna have to work on it. That was just 1 round. I'm pretty sure he'll be tired now. But then Kamigawa was like, all right, let's go, round 2. My man Ippo gets up, he's still hitting the pads with the same fire. Aoki and Kimura are like, dang, my boy got stamina. And Takamura's hiding in the back because he don't want Coach Kamigawa to see he's not doing his road work. He's watching Ippo. And so they're all like, well, he has quite a bit of stamina. I mean, this is his first official day in the gym, and my man is pushing. But that's because he's already had that mindset. I like to think he's almost never been naturally good at anything. So he's always had to step his way up, step by step, and figure it out. I say that to say I think one of the reasons why he has so much stamina. Also, they make it a point, I think later in some episodes, that him helping his mom working at the Makunouchi fishing boat rental, I mean, he's constantly squatting, lifting heavy equipment, taking it to the boat. You know, on the boat, you can't really have weak legs. You got to have them sea legs. You got to have them balancing joints. You know what I'm saying? You can't just be on there just like you on land. You're going to tip over. So it's balance with strength, he's waking up at 4:30 in the morning, you know, to help his mom out with the job. And now he's getting road work in, I think, before. So it's like, wow. He was doing a lot. And so it's surprising to them he has stamina, but when you go back to the episode, you're like, oh, he's really worked for this, right? Stamina isn't just a superpower he has. He's worked on courage and his indomitable will and the need to move forward. And I will say also, him not having his father, it's tough. And there is obviously there's negative sides to it. I mean, he don't have his pops with him. But I'll say with him not having his pops and his mom being such a strong woman, that he's learned some serious mental toughness from his mom. His mom don't be complaining. His mom isn't always like, my husband isn't here. His mom is like, I loved my husband. He's not here anymore, and that is sad. But we're going to keep moving forward, Ippo. We're going to get this bread. We're going to live this good life. So, yeah. So, I mean, I guess, not in wrapping it up, but just I guess is now going into the life lesson is, again, step by step. I'm learning with everything. Humble myself and create small goals, small tasks. My habit, I've noticed, is to have bigger goals, bigger tasks, but that I don't feel necessarily healthier, more balanced, more at peace, more anxious, more stressed out. But I notice that's because I try to bite more than I can chew. And that's my ego. I want to do the work and feel like I'm good enough now, as opposed to do the work and go, no matter how I went today, I'm just going to do a little bit better tomorrow. And I'm going to push a little bit more. And we're going to see what happens. Which is ironically not putting a cap on my potential. Whereas if I think I'm going to be this good already, I'm putting a cap on it. You know, how am I going to imagine being any better or going any further if I can see this, oh, I'm already here. When really it's nope. Calm down. Hey, guess what? It's okay that you're not totally about to die after this workout, that you haven't pushed yourself that far. Sometimes you just need to push and be able to keep going. Keep going. Me, I want to eat the whole cow in one bite, swallow it, digest it, have all the muscles for it, work out, and have the energy right then. It's like, nah, it's not how it works, man. Not how it works. So, great reminders for myself. I'll even say as an example, I just got the platinum trophy on Batman Return to Arkham Asylum on hard difficulty. And one of the things I had to keep reminding myself when I was playing is, bro, stop trying to get the PlayStation trophy tonight. It's not about that trophy. It's not about trophies. It's cool, and that's the goal. enjoy the game. Learn step by step. Have fun getting better. I tend to skip letting the progress marinate into self-belief because I'm so, oh yeah, I should have been that good already. Yeah. And it's like, no, dude, lower your ego. It's okay to believe that you're capable, but don't believe that you're capable of all things right now. It's like, no, you're capable because as long as you have time, you'll keep taking steps forward. So that's my life lesson I got from this episode. Another reminder to slow down, break it down into tiny tasks. And anytime I feel like I'm getting frustrated or it's like, all right, step away. We'll come back, take some time to think. Take some time to think a thought. Take some time to think a thought. And yeah, I like that. That speaks more to me. See if there's any other things that popped out in the episode. Oh, a detail I noticed on Kimura and Aoki, they're the two boxers that like to mess with Ippo. Kimura has a K on his shirt. And I'm just thinking that's because he's not the main character. He is one of the main characters, but he's part of the group. And back to Kimura, he has a K, so I'm thinking he just looks maybe more generic. Maybe the animators thought he wasn't distinctive enough. And so he rocking the K, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, just to distinguish him. K.O. Well, let's see, anything else? Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah. So a little ending. The alarm on my phone went off, so it cut off the video. So I'll see if I can put this little snippet at the end on the main video. But if not, it'll just be an interesting ending. But yeah, Hajime no Ippo, shadow boxing. Up next, round 5. And it's this 3-month journey to returning to sparring Miyata. And yeah, keep pushing, keep going. And take in stimulation, information. That's going to help you do what you want in life. I realized I watch and take in a lot of stimulation that isn't positive, that isn't pushing me, that isn't telling me to believe in myself, that isn't saying be more present or love your family more or take a second and breathe. You know, a lot of the stuff I consume is get more money, more toys, live like this, be balling out, have everybody else say you the ish. You know, does everybody else think you're great? Are you doing this with your life? You know what I'm saying? Is your life approved by other people or validated? And that doesn't help me. That doesn't help me have more self-belief. Listening to that doesn't make me feel more confident. It doesn't make me buy into the idea of not being good now. Microwave ready. You know, it's going to take an oven. It's going to take some cereal. You got to marinate. You got to, you know what I'm saying? It's going to take at least a few days. You got to let it sit in, you know what I mean? If I want it to be at that high of a level. So have a good one. Push. Round 5. Next. Stay in it. Stay in the fight. Don't get KO.